Hi and welcome back. I am joined here with Jose Ramon Garcia, who recently sent a letter to the rebel Yell just because he was discriminated against while trying to run for a CSUN senator. So tell me a little bit about that, Jose. You sent the letter to the rebel Yell. Walk us through it.
Yeah. So in the past CSUN elections, which were invalidated a couple of weeks ago, I was running for a seat in the College of Liberal Arts. So I was hoping to become a senator for the liberal arts, which I've been a senator before, so it's kind of going for re-election in a sense. And after the invalidation, there was a lot of conversation, a lot of talks, and I was speaking with a specific member of CSUN, and he said, you're really lucky that the elections were invalidated. And I was a little confused. I'm like, what are you saying? He's like, well, Senator Rachel Stevens had a case with the elections board ready to file against you in case you won a seat because you're illegal, and she doesn't think that you should be in student government. And I was just so I couldn't even believe it. This was like a random conversation in the library, and I was so confused.
So what happened after that? Did you try to contact Senator Rachel Stevens directly, or?
So he told the first person who told me about this was about like 2 weeks ago. And because of midterms and everything, I kind of just forgot about it. I didn't pay too much attention to it. But when I submitted the letter, I submitted it Thursday, and that was because I spoke to another member of CSUN who said the same thing, and even said that she had plans to like file or like report me to the federal government in hopes of my deportation. And that's kind of when I was like, okay, I can't ignore this anymore. If this is what was going on in CSUN, I think people need to know about it.
Okay, have you gotten any reactions from sending the letter?
Yeah, I was really like hesitant about submitting the letter because I didn't know how people would respond. But I've gotten so many like positive responses from people, both from UNLV, professors, from friends and family, and people who I don't even know are emailing me, and they're saying, hey, I'm also in your same situation, but I'm not out, and so thank you so much for coming out and speaking out. So I'm very happy.
Were you scared though that these allegations were true, and you did actually have a file claimed against you, and being scared that you were eventually going to get deported?
Yeah, I think that was the most, because filing an elections board claim is one thing, but saying that you want to get me deported, that's an entirely different level. And I think that's what I was most concerned about and scared about. The person who did this, Rachel, I've worked with CSUN before, and they know me. I'm involved in so many things on campus, like MECHA and the Rebel Service Council and a lot of things. So I consider myself a good leader on campus, and the fact that all that was put in jeopardy, whether the case was filed or not, I think was what scared me the most, and what made me submit the letter.
What do your family say about this? I mean, this is
Right.
discrimination.
Yeah, and it's almost sad because I told my mom, my sister told my mom about it, and she's like, he submitted this letter, it's getting a lot of attention, just letting you know. And my mom called me really worried, and she said, cuídate mucho, like be careful, because you are undocumented, and people are really hateful, and this stuff happens all the time, and keep in mind that in certain cases you might not have the power that you think you do. And I think when I spoke with my mom, that's when I was for sure I did the right thing, because we, as undocumented students, we've been silenced so much, and for the fear of deportation or other things, and that needs to stop. And the fact that Rachel is a leader on campus and she's doing this to students it's what's most infuriating, and like I said, why I submitted the letter.
Have you heard back from Rachel or from CSUN president?
No, I emailed Rachel a couple, after the letter came out, and I tried to talk to her. I said, please, the email said, I want to talk to you. I want to know why you did what you did, and this could all end. I really just want to talk to you. And she hasn't emailed me back. The only person who's actually contacted me from CSUN is Carla Washington, who's a senator, and she personally called me and apologized and was really emotional about it. She's like, I'm so sorry for this happening to you. This is not all of us in CSUN. This is a very specific group of people and a specific person, so I thank her a lot for doing that. It really meant a lot.
So what do you, seek or getting out of this,
Right, so I think what I seek or what I want out of this is just an understanding that Nevada is one of the states that has the most undocumented immigrants and students in the country, and the fact that CSUN is supposed to be a representative body, it's supposed to represent us on campus, and the fact that this is going on in CSUN, and this is a conversation that many senators were a part of or heard, and nobody said anything to me besides behind the scenes conversation. And there's really nothing being done. You know, the Senate President Jay Yoon said that he knew the case was going to be filed and he tried to stop it, but he still didn't do anything further. You know, this is hate speech, this is a hate crime, and saying you want me deported is completely, you know, like you said, it's discrimination. And so really I just want awareness on the issue and get the conversation started on what we can do here at UNLV for undocumented students.
You know, you hear a lot of stories of people or students even that take the extra step and even risk being deported. Would you be willing to go as far as, okay, well, if this is going to happen to me, I'm going to take action and I'm going to, you know, get deported, to make a statement? Would you be willing to do that? I
think that those students are like pushed, and so definitely there comes a time when you are pushed to do it, and we have to do that. Some people have to stand up sometimes.
Yeah, well, it's a really tragic story. It's really sad to see things like that happening, especially here on campus. I thank you for being with us here today, and I'll send it over to Zach and Stephen for more information.